Hello. All right. So this is maintenance week 5 check-in, and I have some really interesting news, some kind of big personal realizations, which I would know on paper, but it's different to experience it. So I switched 2 weeks ago to iTrack Bites. I switched to maintenance points, which I had not done. I had used iTrack Bites, I think it was back in December, but I had set it for weight loss. It was like 26 points, right? But I am using the Carb Conscious plan, which is the old Points Plus plan. And when I decided to go back to using it, I switched my settings from weight loss to maintenance, which means I get 32 points a day, plus I get 49 points. So anyway, I've been tracking. 32 points is great for me. It allows me a great base day of eating, meaning all of my normal meals that I would eat anyway. And then I have 49 weekly points. And so week 1, I think I had 27 of those weekly points left. And then this week I had 22 points left. And there's a couple huge discoveries. Well, one, on this quote unquote maintenance, my weight has dropped. Last week I was at an average of 159 with my weight on Sunday. Today I'm at 158.6. It's about a 0.4 drop, which is really good for me, all things considering. And my actual scale weight went down 0.2 of a pound. So 0.2 of a pound on the scale, average weight went down 0.4 of a pound. And the reason I want to share this is because I noticed a mental shift this last 2 weeks. I've been having some bowls of watermelon. It's the free, so I can have certain things with 0 points, right? So fruits, non-starchy vegetables. And I would normally be like, no, I'm not going to have watermelon because it's calories or whatever. But because it's 0 points, I've been having watermelon. I've been having some kinds of like fruits that I might have, otherwise not had. But what's interesting is the mental freedom around nibbles, bites of other foods. So when I was tracking calories, even at my maintenance calories, I would sometimes negotiate out of tracking because I knew, okay, yes, that's a third of a slice of pizza. It's probably about 100 calories, but it's going to come out of my budget and I don't necessarily want to track it. This is just me being honest and real with you here. And so on points though, because again, I can get a full day of really good eating in on 32 points for me. Tracking those little indiscretions was way easier. Like there was no hemming and hawing. It's like, hey, I've got all those extra points sitting there. Why not? And I think what this comes back to is this abundance versus scarcity mindset. So when I have way more points available to me, I'm more willing to honestly track even probably calories. When I see a restriction on calories or points, I'm more apprehensive of tracking honestly because I see my account going down, right? And I recorded a video earlier this week, which I will include here, where I talked about this from a different perspective. Like if you're constantly blowing past your calories or your points, actually assess where you are. Like if you're thinking you should be eating 1,600, but you're really eating 3,000, start your day with 3,000. Actually track to 3,000. And then as you go through the day, if you don't eat some of those snacks or treats or whatever, deduct them off. Like give yourself a win versus punishment. And I think a lot of the times why people self-sabotage, including me to a degree, right? It's a psychological thing. The more scarcity we feel with something as basic as our food, the less willing we are to track honestly. So somebody who just decides, oh, I'm going to eat 1,200 calories. Oh my God, that's like starting with nothing, right? Like no wonder this person peters out and they don't finish tracking, and they definitely don't track everything. I mean, one of the statistics is that most people underreport food. Like when they're on a diet, they're not very good trackers. They're not very honest, trying to be deceitful to the person doing the test, but really deceitful to themselves, right? Because what they're doing is they're eating things and they're not tracking it. And since I can do that, and I know you can do that, I'm not shocked that that's an actual thing. But my point is this: by having an abundance of points, or in this case, an abundance of what would be calories, right, in a different form called points, it gave me the mental freedom to journal everything. And if consistency and honesty is a requirement to get to your goal weight and keep it there, and I wax and wane. There's times I'm way more honest and better about it. And then there's other times, like currently right now in the quarantine, I feel a lot more temptation, again, totally honest moment, to eat a third of a slice of pizza. But my ability to track it honestly without that scarcity kicking in hasn't been there this last couple weeks. Why? Because I have an abundance of points that I'm probably not going to use. Whereas if I had been following the weight loss version of this plan with 26 daily points and 49 weekly, I could easily eat all of those, and I have. So it's just this idea of I have stuff left over, I feel empowered, my weight's going down, and I don't feel that sense of internal pressure about should I track, should I not track? Oh my gosh, what's that going to leave me for the day or the week? And I'm just sharing all of this very honestly because I think the more that we talk these things through and we understand why we do what we do and the psychological part of this, the better we can start to identify what trips us up and what helps us. And honestly, I've never done an experiment like this before. I've never seen very seldom have I switched into iTrack Bites to actually maintain. Normally when I do, I use as another mode of weight loss. But just that little bit of a variation makes a huge difference. So for those of you who are struggling, like you can't quote unquote hit a certain target number, a certain point target, try this different approach. Maybe it comes down to, for you, it's a scarcity versus abundance mindset. Anyway, I'm excited about the progress. I'm enjoying the freedom. I'm enjoying the watermelon, the freedom to track everything honestly. And I just thought I would share all that here with you because I know this can be a point of struggle for a lot of people. All right, you take care and I'll talk to you soon.